Throughout your adventures in Pokemon Legends Arceus, there is the mention of a certain hero who came before you who wielded the 5 noble Pokemon and 5 right Pokemon of the Hisui region. Revered to the point where his legend is still talked about to this day in Hisui, and even so significant that the Spear Pillar was originally built with reverence to the hero's 10 companions. But who could this hero be? Tell you right now, it's not HybridHero, but it's most probably this guy. Alder's Ancestor? Nah, not his ancestor, but rather just Alder. A hero and a faller just like the player character. What's going on, guys? HybridHero here, and this is one video of a series of 3 videos that we're going to be covering across BirdKeeperToby, HoopsandHipHop, and my channels, where we cover 3 crazy theories regarding Volo, Kamado, and the ancient hero of Hisui, respectively. The ancient hero is name dropped throughout Pokemon Legends Arceus from the beginning of the game till the very end. Even Arceus, God himself, respects the hero as much as the people of Hisui do, and brings him up during the end of your fight. But who is this ancient hero? Well, let's start with the facts first. We know what from everyone has said that long before the Diamond and Pearl clans arrived in the Hisui region, the ancient hero befriended and had 10 companion Pokemon by his side. Ancestors to the 5 nobles and the 5 ride Pokemon that the player character in Legends Arceus owns. This alone was a tremendous feat, as at this point in time, it would be highly unlikely for a human to even have 1 Pokemon by their side, let alone 10. But on top of this, the ancient hero was shown to have battling prowess with his Pokemon to the point where they seem to be totally in sync with one another, take down alpha Pokemon, and most impressive of all, defeat Arceus. If you go through the old verses scattered around Hisui, it'll state the following. "'Twas long ago he earned the name Hero. He led his retinue, 10 Pokemon, against the almighty unknowable. In battle did his valiance proclaim, at last the strength of humble humankind. The great unknowable approved this feat, and to its domain of no place returned." Initially throughout the story, players may assume by the way the characters are talking, it was either Dialga or Palkia that the hero had fought. And while it's possible that the hero did fight the Masters of Time, Space, and Antimatter, his greatest achievement seems to have been his victory against Arceus himself, as the old verse refers to Arceus as the almighty unknowable, and also refers to a domain of no place, which, yeah, it's Arceus' place. And that's more or less all we really know of him for facts. Besides that, even though we know that the Diamond and Pearl clans weren't around when he first showed up, they are the ones who are in charge of the descendants of the hero's 10 companions, and that the hero is still respected to this day, and that his feats and accomplishments of simply bonding with and defeating Pokemon are still unmatched. Well, till you show up, of course. So, who could this hero be? Well, it's no surprise that the #1 theory going around is that the hero of old is most likely an ancestor of Alder. The main reason why people seem to be thinking that's Alder's ancestor is because of this portrait over here. It's the only portrait that's in both the Diamond and Pearl settlements. The only other portraits they have in the settlements are different. They're portraits of Archie and Maxie, or their ancestors, implying that whoever these two are more than likely the original leaders of the Diamond and Pearl clan. But this one is a common portrait, showing that there's something about the character in this portrait that both clans are willing to worship despite their feud. Now I say worship because that's exactly what both clans do in front of this portrait. If we take a look at it, it is most definitely someone who looks like Alder. The flamey hair, the Pokeballs around his neck, there's no way it's not Alder's ancestor. Except, it really isn't. There's no way this can be Alder's ancestor because it is Alder. Let's start off with the basics. As we mentioned earlier, befriending 10 Pokemon at the beginning of Hisui would have been an impossible task, seeing as how befriending 1 Pokemon was an impossible task back then. So, clearly, whoever was capable enough to do such a thing must have had prior Pokemon knowledge and experience already. And in fact, this level of skill would imply that a hero is a faller. There are only 3 trainers in Pokemon Legends Arceus who would use 6 Pokemon on their team: the player character, Ingo, and Volo. Most of the trainers in the games use only 1 to 3 Pokemon. The truly competent ones use 4, and post-game Kamado uses 5. But these 3 are the only ones skilled enough to use 6. And moreover, 2 out of these 3 characters are fallers. Yes, I know, the term fallers are technically only used for ultra wormholes, but let's not be picky here, okay? 2 out of these 3 are fallers, the exception to that one being Volo, who we can give a pass to as he is of course Cynthia's ancestor. For the first time ever, Unova is also confirmed to have fallers in the Pokemon world. Till now we've had people from a bunch of different regions, but nothing really related to Unova. But surprisingly, Ingo of all characters was chosen to be in this game. Why Ingo out of all people, unless it were to hint to something bigger with Unova, the region that Alder was former champion to and resides in. Furthermore, this portrait of the hero shows him with Pokeballs around his neck. Now, unless this man decides to take Hisui Voltorbs and place it around his neck, very, very small Hisui Voltorbs mind you, there's no way he isn't from the future because Pokeballs and Legends Arceus were invented only 2 years prior to arrival in Hisui. And with this hero, we're talking hundreds and more than likely thousands of years in the past. So the possibility of him having Pokeballs around his neck and being from present time? Yeah, no shot. He has to be from the future. Furthermore, Alder is one of, if not the only trainer to have more than 6 Pokeball with him at all times. His official artwork shows him with 6 Pokeballs around his neck and 3 by his side. Now you can infer that he has more than that and make a case for 10, but you don't have to because in Pokemon Masters, you actually see that Alder has a total of 11 Pokeballs with him at all times. 11 is not exactly 10, but you tell me what other trainer you know that carries 10 or more Pokeballs around with them. In a Nintendo Dream interview, it was stated that Alder carries more than 6 Pokeballs around with him because he doesn't actually know how to work out the Pokemon storage system. So it's very much possible that all of these 11 Pokeballs actually had Pokemon in them. And if anyone to have more than 6 Pokemon and still balance out friendship and the time given to these Pokemon, it would be Alder, as he's shown to befriend and play with wild Pokemon, or anyone's Pokemon, incredibly quickly across all the forms in the Pokemon media that he's in. If this was Alder, and Alder with 11 Pokeballs was the one to go back in time and become the legendary hero of Hisui, you could make a case saying that he carries around his original Volcarona's Pokeball for sentimental value, seeing how often it's brought up, and the other 10 are the companions there. Or even his current Volcarona's Pokeball for that matter. But I know we are going a bit too far off the rails with that one, but maybe not. Because in this portrait, Alder looks like the god of the sun, and Volcarona is said to be the embodiment of the sun. But maybe God of the Sun is not the appropriate title to give him. Maybe Pokemon's version of Christ would be more appropriate. According to Pokemon's Dream magazine, Alder was originally going to have a more Christ-like design, but they went ahead and scrapped that and gave us the Alder that we know and love today. But if he was originally intended to look like Christ, then it's possible that he still shares elements of Christ. And if he was sent back to the past this way, then I'm certain that in the Pokemon world, he will be revered the same way that Christ does, and even the human equivalent of him in the Pokemon world. Hence all the worship from the Diamond and Pearl clans. It makes sense to who and what his character really is, and in a way, this all comes full circle for him. I will admit there is another possible option to this theory too, and that is that Alder did not come from the future, but from the past. The hero of old is Alder, but he gets transported to the modern day of Unova. This ties in well with Alder not being able to use the PC system, and also Alder's usage of Old Japanese, and he speaks that way if you play the Japanese version of Black and White. However, the biggest problems to this are that the man in this portrait seems to look older than Alder. Alder makes no mention of being from elsewhere or another time period in the Unova games, and most of all, this guy in the portrait has Pokeballs around his neck. So while I am open to hearing more ideas about this from you guys, I think you need to tackle those 3 major points to form any kind of solid theory. I'd reckon that his usage of Old Japanese and friendly behavior, on top of being competent enough to be champion, is why Arceus sent him back in the first place. Those 3 qualities make him a viable candidate to go back a few thousand years or so, and I do think that it legitimately is Alder. This could even be potentially set up for future Unova remakes, or even a Legends Kyurem, but we'll have to wait and see.
If the ancient hero really is Alder and is from Unova, What does that mean for the rest of the characters from Legends Arceus? Well, we actually know their origins as well, and it's pretty dark, depressing, tragic, and violent, and I've got a video all about it over on my channel.
Like Hoops said, be sure to watch his video next, and also BirdKeeperToby's video afterwards if you haven't already. And if you want to, feel free to join us with his theory videos. I already presented one for you guys to challenge. Possibly Alder coming in from the past to the future. But we'd love to have more people come in with these theories and lore videos, cause the more the merrier. Show us what you got. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys over on the next video, alright? Later.